So, as most of you probably know, I typically on Tuesdays restream the official Vanguard streams where they announce stuff and show stuff, and usually you would see this kind of video in terms of me just like reacting and screaming at things and translating things. But this week was a little bit different because they did a special event where they held the Tuesday stream in the venue where they usually do like those like every 3-month strategy presentations, and they opened it up to the public so anyone that plays the game could actually apply to the event through Bushinavi, which is the official tournament software here in Japan. I can quickly show you. Jajan. So here, you have the Bushinavi, and then you can basically like scroll through the events you've signed up for, and they have like different like featured events like for the different games like Shadowverse and Vanguard and stuff like that. You can sign up for stuff, and then basically you just signed up for the event here. You go to the event and then it basically shows. So this was the Tuesday stream. It doesn't really want to focus, but basically you can just sign up for it like any other tournament, and then if you get in, you get in. And honestly, anyone could virtually get in. There wasn't like, even at the event, there were still like free seats here and there. Like it was mostly full, but not entirely. And so I was like, you know what, might as well take the chance and attend live because they were inviting a bunch of voice actors that I like, and I was like, you know what, this should make for a pretty fun experience. And so of course this meant that I couldn't stream, and you know, I couldn't get to see everyone's reactions live the way we usually would, but luckily I could ask Mr. WCC Kai to, you know, take over my stream for the day, and I think he did a pretty good job.
You thought it was DifferentFight? But it's actually me! Hi everyone, how's it going?
So anyway, the Tuesday stream was split into 2 parts, where the first hour was like a variety part, and basically they had the voice actors do like quizzes and answer like fan mail and stuff like that. It was pretty fun, although I can tell that like for the English side, just watching this on stream might not have been as exciting or as fun, but personally speaking, it was actually a very fun segment, and it was really cool to see like the voice actors just like kind of interacting. And I think for me especially, like I like seeing them in person because it kind of just reminds you that these are just people at the end of the day that work very hard to get where they are. And I feel like this is a very big tangent, but I feel like idol culture tends to like take away from that, and you just like see them as stars and not as like hardworking people, which I think I personally appreciate voice actors and talents a lot more when you just see them as people that work hard. But anyway, that's a completely different topic for another video. And the cool thing was that for entering the event, we actually had to essentially pay 1,000 yen per person to go in, but instead of paying the 1,000 yen, we could buy 3 packs of set 7 each. And so of course, we opened up some packs, and you can take a look here at what our results were.
こんないいの当たんねえそんないいの当たんね
今回出る。
えなあなあな
あ
まあまあ、
あダブルレアのね
こんなに強いボックスだったからしょうがない。
flags this time. I don't,
No.
I don't feel the
I'm
juice.
feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Mr. Krabs.
Oh, yeah, that's like one of the best double rares.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's like 200 yen card for you.
I need that. I need
Get that. Get the entry fee.
yeah. Please. Okay.
Ah, whack.
Just some single legs.
That's okay. Run it.
Weighed these packs.
Ah, that's 2
Okay.
doubles. That's pretty
I'll
good.
take 2
Pretty
doubles.
good. It's 2 weeks. Oh, nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, FR. Oh, yeah. Not
Nice.
bad.
Yeah.
Actually pretty good. Good
My
first.
eyes.
My eyes. It shines. I wonder if you can get triples from these.
Yeah, right. Or my even more flags for Grimblue.
Oh, triple. Oh, it's just...
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but this is the worst that far because there's like a cute there's like a little like worker there and it blocks it out. Yeah. All right. Can I have a good triple?
That said, they should
Tempest,
have.
please.
It'd be nice if they zoomed it out a little.
Yeah. Okay. Sag.
That's a nice looking card.
Good enough.
Make me feel thorough.
We got some stuff. Then we had the variety part. The variety part was pretty fun, and then at the end of it, they actually had an announcement because the MC for the event for this segment was Danji's voice actor, which made it feel very much like a Grand Blue Fantasy stream because that's usually where he MCs. And at the very end, they announced set 9, where the cover card is going to be the new Bruce together with Danji, which is the first time that Yu is not the cover card. Or like, you know, in set 5, I guess we had, of course, you know, MLB and stuff. But even in set 7, it was like Michiru plus Yu Yu, you know, so it wasn't just Michiru. So hope they keep doing that more. Please don't always just put Yu there. It's nice to see other stuff. So that was pretty exciting. Definitely nobody expected that because, you know, they said they're going to announce new stuff for set 8 and then new product information, but they went and just like blasted that before the product part even came on. So I think that was actually very exciting and a very like surprise. Like the whole crowd was just like, whoa, like, you know, that's something that you don't get to see on the stream because you just see like the product image and then the voice actors going like, whoa, and then, but you don't hear the crowd as like it pops off and stuff and starts clapping.
This has been replaced. Oh! Yo! Is that a new Bruce? Hey, look, that looks slick, dude. This is America Bruce. Set 9! Let's go!
And the crowd literally clapped after like every little announcement or like every little like thing the voice actors did, and I think that was like a really cool like atmosphere. And then once we got into the news segment, there was also a little like Dear Days demo session where they basically just like played a little game, like not even a game, like one turn of Dear Days, and they just like showed off the over trigger basically, which was like a weird little choice. I feel like they could have showed off Ground Grass there, which would have been cooler. Like the game comes out in like a month, so I feel like it's getting pretty close. But anyway, I digress. We got into the product part, and honestly, it was pretty hyped because there was like announcement after announcement that we didn't expect. They announced Daibangasai for next year, which is the big Vanguard festival, and now that the borders to Japan are open, I recommend planning out your holidays. It's going to be happening the last 2 days of April, so you want to attend that. Honestly, Daibangasai is a really, really good time. I will eventually get my video out of this year's Daibangasai, and you'll get to see how cool it is. I promise. By saying I promise, that puts like a nail in my back, telling me I have to edit this damn video. And one thing they kept doing throughout the entire thing is like they had Kagami Karin on the stage, who is the both Japanese and English voice actress for Urara, and she's born and raised in California if I'm not mistaken, which means like that her English is very native, and so they kept like pedaling onto her like native English pronunciation, which I think was really cool because she'd also just like talk to the stream in English sometimes, which I think is very nice. Like honestly, that's a very big selling point, and you rarely have like bilingual voice actors that do the same characters in both versions. So then they announced some Monster Strike stuff. I can show you here. This was Kai's reaction and translation of the cards.
So with events, if you have 2 events in the order zone, one of them go to the drop. Yeah. Just like in Gacha. Actually, in Gacha, you definitely have more than one. So if you have Mikhail... if you have one of those angels, right? So you put one of those cards into the monster box, I think? And then you call a card with a different name, with grade equal to or less than, out from your monster box. So this is Mikhail. So when it attacks, your Vanguard has the Guardian name, and it's grade 3 or higher. For this turn, this unit gets 10k. You can give it 10k. And then if you do, at the end of the battle, put this unit into Soul. Okay, what is this? Uriel. So you can only ride this from a grade 3 Uriel. So it's like Shaman King. So when this comes onto the Vanguard circle, counterblast 1, retire all of your opponent's regards, and this unit gets 10k. The second effect is when this attacks at the end of the battle, put 2 regards into the Soul, and then ride the old Uriel from Soul, and it gets 10k and drive -1. So this is actually better, because like, you'll ride the old Uriel over, and next turn you can like pop her on again, and then pop as well. Seems pretty good! Reverse will+dress, that's right. Yo!
Overall, they're pretty good. Uriel seems pretty strong. Honestly, I've been reading on the Monster Strike reveals so far that they've had, and they've been very good. I'm actually very well impressed by what they're revealing. But then, this is the part that had everyone pogging, which was that they announced the Hololive is coming to the TCG as well, because we have Hololive in 0 as a collab, but they're putting in the Suisei and Miko cards into set 8. So basically the contents are that there's going to be 5 cards plus 1 parallel, and then there's going to be 2 types of collab sleeves, and one of them will come as a box topper as a ride deck sleeve, so we get 4 sleeves in a pack. And I'm personally very hyped about this because I also play Shadowverse Evolved, and Shadowverse Evolved had a very similar thing in set 2, where they had a collab with will+dress, who is another Hololive VTuber, and basically what they did is that they took some of the cards in the set and gave them an alternate rarity with the VTuber on it. So they basically took a spell card, an amulet card, which is like a set spell, and then let's say a unit card, and then basically made alternate rarities of those 3 cards with different arts, but they were the same card as the one that already exists, just different art and different name. So I'm imagining that they're gonna do the same, where like probably Miko is gonna be something for Minerva, and then Suisei might be like Gravidia support or something. At least that's what I expect, because Bouchard literally did that this year, and I think they're going to continue in that pattern instead of doing like Etrange and like, you know, Cray Elementals and stuff like that. I feel like they're probably going to just pivot into doing it as like alternate arts for the existing cards, which I think is very cool. I'm personally excited because like the Hololive collab in Shadowverse Evolved brought a lot of people into Shadowverse Evolved, and I feel like doing that for Vanguard TCG brings people into the TCG. Like there's people that play Zero because of the current Hololive collab, and it's that powerful. Like this is a very strong IP that they're making use of. And of course, I think Kai and Chad reacted in a pretty cool way to the Suisei and Miko announcement too.
Yo! Wait, what? Yo! Hololive collab in the Minerva booster? Yo, everyone's going broke! Let's go! What? Dang, dude! My money! Yo, yo, I thought I was safe, man. I'm not a huge Minerva fan, but.
And then the final big bit of news was that Messiahs are getting a Stride deck set. So I think a lot of people like to go like, oh, I thought encounters were a once per year thing. But if you rewatch, I think if you rewatch the original stream where encounters were announced, they basically only said that the encounters are like once for 2021, and then they didn't specify how many there will be per year going forward, which I think is fine, because we clearly see that there's like kind of like a slowdown in terms of like V and P product, and they're trying to just like put everything into Overdress because Overdress is the main thing. And in the end, all of these, like everything that comes out into Overdress is premium support. So premium getting like Strides once per year and G-Guards once per year I think is perfectly fine. V is kind of the odd one because these cards can't be used in V, so maybe there will be an update to V rules where they allow the use of D cards. I think that'd be kind of nice. But then that kind of goes like, okay, then what was the point of V existing if people wanted to play a format without overtriggers and blah blah blah. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. There's another little extract that we saw on Twitter where apparently the next bit of V&P product isn't scheduled until Daivanga size. That'll be like April/May for the Japanese version. So it's quite a while. It's quite a while until the next bit of product is coming out, which is, you know, interesting. But I'm personally excited for the Stride deck set. I think it's a cool format for product because instead of like putting in like the encounters and stuff just in booster sets, you can also just like make sealed product that people can enter the game with. And because it's a Stride deck set, I'm assuming Messiah will also be striding and potentially locking, which I think is pretty exciting. I put up a tweet the other day where I said I hope that if they do like opponents field blocking in Overdress, that they kind of make it so that it's the same rules as in Zero for Messiahs, because in Zero, Messiahs have a thing where they lock the opponent's rears, but they unlock at the start of the opponent's battle phase, so that way you can still attack with them, but just like, if you called something, it's basically stuck there forever. So we'll see how they handle that. I think it's pretty exciting. And like Chronojet and Messiah are two very important actors in the lore, so I think that it'd be pretty, I think I expected Messiah to be in an encounter as early as possible. I thought it was going to be the next one, honestly, after Overlord and MLB and stuff, just because it is kind of the most lore important part of G, together with like Chronovisor Heritage and Chronojet. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they do like a Stride deck set for like Gize or something in the future, because that's another very important part of the lore. So it'd be like a grade 3 Ified Gize with like a ride line and then like rears that are all like mini Zeraths or something. I think it'd be kind of a cool product, and I feel like these days Vanguard has been very open with exploring random things that otherwise would have not been very normal in the past. So I'm all for it, personally speaking, so I think it's cool to see what they're going to explore in the future. And I'm gonna expect these kind of like Stride deck sets to be like a 2 per year thing at this point, because it feels like they want to put it on like the 2 ends of the year, like in spring and fall, like we have now with Chronojet and then Messiah coming up later on. And those are basically the announcements, so I think it was honestly pretty cool. The only kind of question mark I have is that like, now we know the releases of like February as well as March, and January it seems like there won't be any product. I guess they're trying to maybe skip it because of New Year's and stuff, in case of like shipping delays. I'm not really sure, because we get set 8 like early December, so that means we're gonna have basically like a 2-month period of that set 8 meta. And will+dress season 2 starts in January, so I guess like maybe it'll be like the week after the season starts we're gonna get set 8, which I set 9, I guess, which I think is fine. Like it's like the very start of February, so it's basically January. So I guess January is gonna be like a lull month, but it makes me wonder for like the December strategy presentation, like what are they planning to announce if we already know everything until March? So maybe it'll be like Dear Days updates, or maybe it's gonna be like some other big projects they're planning. But overall, it feels like there isn't too much left to announce until spring, because we already know everything until the early March. Also, funny note that Amanesu pointed out during the stream was that the Set 9 release date is like the 3rd of February, so it's like 2-3, which is like Ni and San in Japanese, and then Ni-san means brother, and she was like, oh, Danji's on it, and Danji's like the Aniki, aka like the big brother, so the release date is like Ni-san, so like the date spells out like big brother, which I think is a pretty cool touch that they did. So yeah, it's pretty fun, honestly. Being there live was really cool because there was something that you just don't see on the stream, because like, you know, for example, they put up the Hololive announcement, right? And like you just, on stream, you just see the picture of the Hololive announcement, but on the stage, we could see like Raika's voice actor was literally like freaking out. Like you could see he was like losing breath, and he was like shivering when the announcement happened. And you just don't see that on stream, which I think is like, it's such a cool extra touch that they have. So yeah, honestly, it was really cool to see it live. I hope that they do more of this in the future, maybe. And you know, props to Bouchard for just inviting a bunch of Vanguard players. Like the whole thing was just Vanguard players, and you know, it was also cool to see people that you don't normally see there, or in general, like I think the female player population was very well represented there. It almost felt like a 50-50 split. So that was honestly a pretty pleasant surprise. Of course, like the voice actors being there is a big push factor for a lot of people to be there, myself included, to be honest. So yeah, honestly, it was a really fun experience, and a bit of a different way to wrap up the news this time around, so hope you still enjoyed it. But anyway, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.